Well, thank you. Good morning. My name is Christine Terkelson. I work for Midwestern Mechanical. My official title is Education Manager. My main responsibilities are to coordinate and manage our apprenticeship programs at Midwestern Mechanical. If you don't know much about Midwestern Mechanical, we are a commercial contractor for plumbing, HVAC, and fire protection. Our owner and CEO, Dwayne Clarenbeek, actually started Midwestern Mechanical back in 1983 out of the second floor of his rural Larchwood home. So we have been around since 1983. We are, like I said, we're a commercial contractor for plumbing, HVAC, and fire protection. When I say plumbing, we don't go into homes and typically fix broken sinks and toilets. We're building new construction, new hospitals, new schools, remodels, those types of things. If you don't know what HVAC is, it's the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. It's just that, the heating systems, the air conditioning, and then fire protection. We're not firefighters. We actually put in the sprinkler systems that would put out a fire in a building. Does anybody know what sets those off? Heat. Okay, good. Not smoke. They're not smoke detectors, okay? If you're from the Spencer area, you might see Copper Cottage vehicles running around town. That is our service department, so they may be going into homes and fixing things. But we have 4 locations, so I have 4 locations that I manage. We're here in Spencer, Iowa. We're also in Sioux City, and then we're also in South Dakota, Sioux Falls, and in Rapid City. So I am out of our Sioux Falls office, and I manage and coordinate the programs through all 4 locations. Some of our projects, some things around town, I got a list from our branch manager. So the new Northwest Bank, the new City Hall, Okoboji School, Hartley, Sunset Apartment remodels, Spencer Hospital, Lakes Regional Hospital, Northwest Iowa Technical College, and Northwestern College. So as you can see, we're working on those big projects, not on homes. Just a little background. Background about me, I used to work for a for-profit university. I was assistant director of admissions, worked there for almost 10 years before they decided to close, and that's from gainful employment, if you know what that is. You can't charge somebody $60,000 for a college degree and expect them to be able to pay back their student loans if they're only going to make $12 an hour coming out of that program. So thanks to gainful employment, I got laid off, and Midwestern Mechanical hired me in 2013 because they wanted to move their education and training program in-house just to get a better handle on safety, quality. We wanted to train our employees the way that we wanted them to train and have the skills that they would need. So in 2014, we registered our programs in Iowa. I work with Richard Madden out of Des Moines, and he's with the Department of Labor, Office of Apprenticeships. And I know you said that it is an easy process. It is an easy process. There's actually formatted programs already out there, and you can just kind of tweak them to make them your own. So there are programs usually out there in fields that you're looking to put in a registered apprenticeship program, and you can just kind of tweak them a little bit to make them your own. In 2017, we actually started the Trades Academy. When I would go out to high school students and try and promote Midwestern Mechanical, what do you think that they thought we were? Mechanics, okay? They don't understand that it's the mechanics of a building. So that plumbing, the HVAC, the fire protection. So our owner said, you want to know what? We have a school within our company. Let's give it a name. Let's name our school, name our training program, and then we'll market it that way to the young people so they have a better understanding. So we started Trades Academy. It is trademarked in Iowa and in South Dakota. So that's kind of the way that I promote the apprenticeship program to the youth. Makes a little bit more sense. Our registered apprenticeship programs are all 4 years. You may not know this, but in the state of Iowa, you can't take your journeyman plumbing test until you have completed a registered apprenticeship program, okay? Or you had to have had 4 years of experience prior to 2010. Well, these young folks that we want to get into our industry, because we do have an aging population, a lot of our plumbers and HVAC technicians are retiring, so we need to try and get that interest in the youth a little bit more. So registered apprenticeship program is going to give them that pathway to be able to take their journeyman's license and testing. So 2 parts to registered apprenticeship program for us. First is on-the-job training. I always tell young people minimum requirements: you have to be 18 and you have to graduate from high school or have a GED. Come apply for a job with us. We're going to give you a full-time job. Just like any other job, you're going to come to work every day, you're going to earn a paycheck, you're going to be able to do 401k, vacation, benefits, all that stuff, vacation time, and you're going to earn a paycheck. Nice thing about plumbers, they get paid every Friday, which is kind of something they like, I guess. But we're going to teach you on the job. You're going to go work with an experienced journey person, and they are going to teach you on the job all the different aspects of our trade as you're working on the various projects that we are building. So they are earning a paycheck and they're learning on the job. Second part is that RTI, so the related technical instruction. So we actually do that in-house. Our apprentices come to class at our locations twice a month for 4 hours. So on a Friday, my apprentice plumbers come to class from 12:30 to 4:30. They don't get paid to go to class, but we don't charge them anything for it either. The only thing that we ask them to pay for is their book each year, and that's less than $100. And I actually will payroll deduct it in small amounts, so they don't have to come up with that money out of pocket. They are charged for tools in the beginning too. There's tools that you need for our trade. Same thing, we just take out small amounts each week from their paycheck to help them pay for it so they don't have to come up with that upfront expense. But classroom instruction, I have instructors at 3 of my locations. We actually use Zoom meeting. So I have an instructor at one of our locations do a Zoom classroom session for all 4 locations. And then I have local journeymen at all 4 locations teaching lab, because they do about an hour to 2 hours of classroom time, which includes tests, textbooks, those types of things. But then we also do lab, which is hands-on, and those local journeymen do the lab training. So they're getting taught safety, how to use tools properly, and just fine-tuning some of those skills that they're going to need while they're out on the job. So those are the 2 parts of our registered apprenticeship program. Some statistics. Usually when I talk in front of people, they want to know, what kind of turnover do you have? Well, construction is not the most glamorous job career to get into. So we do have some turnover. I went and kind of looked up some of my statistics. Right now we have 40 active apprentices just in Iowa. So that includes our Sioux City and our Spencer offices. Between the other 2 locations, so all in all, I have about 100 apprentices that I keep track of, and that's for all 3 of our programs. So since 2014, we have completed 24 apprentices. So those 24 individuals have gone on to get their journeyman's license, and now they have an apprentice working under them. That's kind of the cycle that we want to keep going. Since 2014, we have had 28 cancel. So our attrition rate is about 30,000, or 30%, sorry. I did go look up some information online, and if it's online, it's true, right? But here's the info that I found. All industries, the average is 17.8. So I kind of assume that ours will be a little bit higher. Dave Ramsey put out some information. So first and second year of college, attrition rate is 24.5%. Now that's a little bit lower than ours, but the nice thing about apprenticeship is those first and second year college students left with debt. An apprentice is not leaving with debt. So they can move on and they don't have to pay any money back. So just some information. So partnerships, working with the Department of Labor, I talked about that. Iowa Economic Development, yes?
Do you know why
They don't know what they're getting into until they actually do the work. They don't have quite an understanding, like you have to work out in the cold, you have to work with your hands, maybe it's not as glamorous as you thought it was, those types of things. Yep. So the Iowa Economic Development Authority, we do get the 15B grant. I can tell you we got just a little over $10,000 last year from that grant money. That paid for all of my instructor rates. So we pay our instructors $35 an hour because money talks. So $35 an hour, that paid for our instructors in Sioux City and in Spencer. And it also paid for material. I mean, when we do lab activities, obviously copper's not cheap, you know, all those things. If we want to buy tools for our lab, if we want to do some remodels to our lab, that all adds up. But that paid for all of last year, that $10,000. So military, something you may not know, hire those vets, hire your National Guard. You don't have to use your GI Bill money to go to college. You can actually get your monthly stipend every month while you're going through an apprenticeship program. So I'm a VA certifying official for our company. I have about 7 individuals that I certify their hours every month, and they get a monthly living expense check. And that kind of offsets, obviously when you're an apprentice, you don't earn as much in the beginning because we're going to work you through that wage progression that you talked about. So that kind of helps supplement some of those lower wages as they work towards that journeyman wage. We do work with the Spencer Area Job Trust Internship Program. We do a wage match, so we had some people that worked for us in the summer, and we paid half of their wages. And we did retain full-time employees off of that program. Iowa Lakes Community College, we have some that will work part-time for us and then come full-time. And when they come on full-time, we actually help them with tuition reimbursement. And then we have worked with the Spencer High School as well. So important things to know, workforce challenges won't fix themselves. You can't wait for people to just come and knock at your door. You have to go out and engage and make things, more attractive to employees. You have to take action. Obviously, our owner, when I first started back in, 7 years ago in February it'll be, we had less than 200 employees at Midwestern Mechanical. Now we are sitting at about 270. So if you want to see growth, you're going to have to do things to be able to make your company grow. Develop programs to keep employees engaged. Nice thing about the apprenticeship program is I give our apprentices a 50-cent raise each year that they complete our classes, and that's completely separate from their performance review, what kind of employee they are. So you have to make some of those things. 2 raises in a year, how many of you get 2 raises in a year? I don't. So, those things are attractive, especially to the young people, and then take advantage of the programs that are available to you, like those grants. Any questions? Thank you.